Okay, here's a few form tips for ring push-ups. I'm not going to speak too much about what the upper body is doing. It's really what the rest of the body is doing that I think most people mess up on. Okay, so you want to be very rigid, just like a plank position, and you want to maintain that rigidity in the rest of the body the entire time so that only your upper body is moving and doing the exercise. Okay, the rest of the body is just static. I don't like the feet like touching or super close together. About hip width apart seems way more comfortable for me and for most of my trainees in the past. Now from here, you just want to make sure your back isn't arching. You want to really straighten it out by getting the pelvis tilted posteriorly, okay? So make sure your hips are thrusted. All right, this should contract the glutes and also the hamstrings and quads. And then from here, elongate your neck. Make sure you're packing your chin up as if you're holding a weight on the back of your head. And make sure your shoulders are packed down. And from there, nice and easy, with a brief hold, preferably with a brief hold at the bottom and at the top. Okay, so making sure you're getting a nice stretch to the bottom and also locking out at the top. Okay, now the lockout for gymnastics, you would lock out with a supinated grip. I don't really care to do that for myself or any like regular person who's not a gymnast. So do it just like a bench press essentially. You don't have to necessarily turn your hands. I do find that a slightly supinated position is good. Okay, so you don't have to be totally straight like on a barbell. Feel free to mess around with somewhere between pronated and neutral. Typically right in the middle feels good for me personally. So that's about it. So just make sure tight glutes. Okay, don't stick the butt out. Push it in. Make sure the shoulders aren't toward the ears. They're packed down. And as you come down to the push-up, think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then think about pushing them apart at the top. That's about it, man. Try 3 sets of 5 to start, maybe 3 sets of 3 to 5. If that's too easy, even with the nice pauses, the bottom and top, and maintaining that good form, do more. That's about it. Okay, so you can do 3 times 3 to 5 when that gets easy, 3 times 6 to 8 when that gets easy, 3 times 9 to 12, and if that gets easy, go ahead and add a weight vest. Okay? Alright, take it easy.